What's up, guys? I'm EJ. This is Kendall here, and obviously there's a lot of contention about who the top guy in high school basketball is right now for 2020. I thought this was a great time to have this conversation. Who right now is the top dog, the number one player overall? There's plenty of contenders. You got Clarke, you got Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green. A lot of talented guys. I'm curious what you make of this, because there's a lot of contention. Different websites have different guys.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that one recruiting service may have Evan Mobley at number one. One may have Cade Cunningham at number one. Jalen Green was the number one guy for a long time. Yeah. Then Terrence Clarke comes in and reclassifies, and some people have him in the top 2 or 3. So it's really depends on who you like type of thing. And they're all kind of from different regions, so they don't necessarily all play each other.
And they're all kind of different players.
Very different players.
You look at someone like Cade Cunningham, slick 6'7" type point guard,
cerebral.
Mobley, 7 foot, monster, but also really highly skilled for someone his age. And then you got Green, who's just an athlete. I mean, he's just an incredible athlete. And Clarke, who's just a scorer, an attacker, slasher type player. So, where do you stand on this right now?
It's interesting. I would say if I were to peg someone who is viewed as maybe the consensus, and like we said, there really is no consensus.
No.
But I think a lot of people have leaned maybe Evan Mobley. If you look at a lot of the services, and Mobley he's a nice prospect when you look at like maybe NBA potential. Long term, we're talking about, the big man position is always heavily valued. But I look at the way the NBA is going, and even college basketball, next season, and the fact that those other 3 guys are guards, I lean more to those guys maybe than Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley has the highest upside of any of these guys. He's 7 foot.
Definitely.
And he has the skill level of Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
So I mean, if that's what he tops out as, I mean, he's going to be the best guy. But big men are just they're
the development process. The development process could be longer sometimes.
Yes, it's such a toss-up, especially if we're talking about college basketball for next season. What's his impact going to be?
I even argue him going to USC. Honestly, because USC not a traditional power per se.
You're right.
He'll be tasked to kind of be the guy immediately day one. And some guy, it looked like Washington was up to the task this year. Yeah. But some big men we've seen go to those kind of schools, and they're not ready for that kind of attention.
So for me, look, Cade Cunningham, if we're talking purely college basketball, it's close between, I think, Cunningham and Clarke. I love Jalen Green. I think Jalen Green, if we're talking NBA, I would lean Jalen Green. But if we're talking college basketball, I think Cunningham he's the most NBA-ready, college-ready player right now. 6'6", strong, one of the highest IQ players I've ever watched. I mean, the first time I watched Cade Cunningham play, when he was at Montverde, he's a junior. He's going up against Cole Anthony. And I watched to see Cole Anthony and Precious Achiuwa, who ended up going to Memphis. And Cade Cunningham destroyed Cole Anthony on national television. And this was him as a junior. I'd never heard of the guy. I saw him, he was ranked like 15. I was like, this guy's one of the best players in the country. I don't know what these rankings are. And then he obviously this summer he blew up. Yeah. But he seems like the type of guy that could lead a team to a Final Four just off of his own LeBron, almost Luka Doncic type of game, passing ability. And then Terrence Clarke's a guy that just his scoring ability, like you mentioned, he's very slick. Jamal Crawford-esque, Karis LeVert is another guy that comes to mind when you watch him. His handle, his scoring ability. The only reason I mentioned Jalen Green long term is you mentioned the athleticism, the shooting ability is really starting to pick up.
Yes, it is.
If we were projecting who's going to be the number 1 pick in 2021, I would lean Jalen Green right now. Because of that athleticism, that scoring ability, it's almost Kobe Bryant-esque. When you think about Kobe Bryant in high school. So, I don't know how recruiting rankings, whether or not the services lean pro or college, but if we're talking college, I'll go with Cade Cunningham. Pro, Jalen Green.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky. I was gonna ask how are we judging this? Are we looking at who the best player is going to college basketball, or is it who will be the best player in 5 years or 10 years in the NBA, or who's the best NBA prospect? Because I think there are different answers. I agree with you. I think right now the best player in high school basketball I think it's Cade Cunningham. Clarke is dynamic.
He's nasty.
I mean, you watch Clarke, man. I mean, his handle. He's a great athlete too. I mean, we talking about Jalen Green, but I mean, Clarke can bounce too. I mean, Green's on another world, you know, in terms of athleticism. I think his one-on-one game and stuff is still kind of catching up to his athleticism.
Yeah,
he's gonna be a very good player. I'm not, you know, these are picking very nitpicks with these.
All these guys are probably gonna average 20. In
yeah, they're all gonna be, you know, probably dominant players. But the only guy I think I really seriously considered over him was Mobley, because I mean, again, a guy his size with his true natural skills. You know, I think sometimes because these big men are being asked to do different things, we kind of throw around the he's a 7-foot guard thing kind of loosely and kind of ridiculously.
Right.
I don't think it's that crazy to say that about Mobley. Right. I mean, you know, of course he's playing in a team game oriented way in which he has to kind of just play in the post and block shots. Yeah. But when he's in certain aspects, when he gets on the perimeter, he looks like any of these long. I don't want to say Durant, but he looks like any of these long guys who play on the perimeter that play in the NBA. That's what he looks like. And I think to me, that's who. If he becomes a star, that's what he'll end up being. He'll be more of that than the guy who's on the block every play.
Yeah.
I think the only reason why I still stuck with Cunningham was because if there's anything I would say about Mobley is not the greatest athlete. He's a good athlete. It's not like it's a detriment, but I mean, you're talking about being the best player. I'm looking at every aspect of your game. I say, okay, where's something that made
he's not incredibly strong.
No, he's not He's not incredibly strong, and he's not jumping over people.
Right.
Like he's jumping over guys, you know, 6'3" little kids, you know, who can't guard him. But I mean, if he's playing in college basketball, I feel like he's not out athleticing a lot of people.
And guys in the Pac-12, right?
Right, exactly. You know, that's so that's the only reason why I was like, I think when he gets to college, he'll be a great player. But I think that may slow him down a little bit. And I think the idea that, you know, I think he probably will still be kind of pigeonholed to kind of being just, you know, a post pivot type guy when that's not his game to me.
Yeah,
his game is. I mean, he can do that and he does it well. But if someone really unlocks his game and really lets him play on the perimeter too, I mean, he's gonna murder people on the next level.
Yeah,
with the way he can dribble on the perimeter.
I think
and drive by guys.
Yeah, I think Clarke is the best guard Calipari's coached in a long time. And that's saying something because he coached De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk, Jamal Murray, a lot of good guards. And, I mean, he may be the best one since John Wall, you know. And he almost got Cade Cunningham. So, I think Cade Cunningham would have been the best one since John Wall. But all these guys are going to be really good. I'm excited. You know, hopefully Jalen Green plays in college basketball. The only question I have with Jalen Green is just, when it comes to college, is what kind of impact does he have on winning? You know, he's going to put up a lot of points because he's so explosive. Mm-hmm. But, like, Cunningham makes guys around him better.
And don't you feel like the Jalen Green archetype is a guy we've seen in high school, and that guy never ends up being
as dominant
as you think he's supposed to be? Like, the Gerald Green, and Gerald Green's much taller than him.
Right.
And I don't mean to say that just because they're both green. But, like, that's what he does remind me of. He jumps that high. He reminds me of Gerald Green when I watch his high school tapes. But there's just a lot of those, like, 6'5" guards who are just crazy athletic, you know, seem to have, you know, crazy one-on-one type games with, you know, crazy step-back jump shots. And, like, I don't know, I guess when I watch him in a full game, I don't know if he's putting all that together on the college level in the way in which we expect.
His jump shot has to – he's going to have to hit jump shots.
Which he's getting much better at that.
Right.
So it looks like that's coming around. But I just got to see it. If I see it, then I'll say, hey, man, if he's hitting jump shots like that, then I think that he's better than all these guys.
Yeah, that's why I say long-term, because once he rounds out his handle, rounds out his jump shot, he's going to be unguardable. He's too fast. He's too explosive at the rim. He just has to be able to stay healthy, get stronger. But, you know, Cunningham has the limitations athletically to where I think his ceiling – we see with Luka Doncic, you don't have to be, you know, you don't have to jump out the gym, but Luka Doncic could also shoot like, you know, one of the best shooters in the league at times. So, you know, that's where Cunningham's going to have to adjust if he wants to be that number one pick.
But unlike Mobley, I feel like because of Cunningham's size at the point guard position, and Again, all these guys are pretty good athletes. None of these, I think, are bad athletes.
Right.
But what we consider his lack of athleticism isn't gonna hurt him as much.
Yeah.
Because he's 6'7" playing point guard.
Similar to Luka. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So the guys he's going up against are either too slow or too short. So athleticism really won't be a factor because he's at such an advantage at his position, which is why he's a special player. You talked about his passing. You talked about his ability to get to the rim. He can shoot as well.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have any weaknesses. He's a stellar player.
And one more guy that we didn't mention because he hasn't reclassified yet, but Jonathan Kuminga
for sure
is another guy we'll probably end up talking about on this channel, and he's, he would be in this conversation assuming he reclassifies to 2020.
Absolutely. But who do you think is the best player in the 2020 class? Leave a comment of what you think. Make sure you like this video if you did enjoy it, and of course, subscribe to our channel, New Generation Media, here on YouTube, and make sure you check out our podcast, New Generation Sports Talk, SoundCloud, in iTunes, TuneIn, and Stitcher. That's Kendall. I'm EJ. Peace, guys.